Start.
Well, yeah. When we talk about Lionel Messi at Paris Saint-Germain, I don't think it was a success. And
you need to term it well. It was a failure.
Well, of course, even though it wasn't a success, I think it was a failure. I actually think that PSG might have retrogressed a bit with their strides they were making in Europe. It's a given you're going to win League 1. It's a given. I mean, Pochettino won League and nobody remembers. Christophe Galtier has won League 1.
Nobody remembers.
Nobody remembers. If Messi's numbers in League 1 anything to go by, then Kylian Mbappe should be winning the Ballon d'Or. He's got tons of goals, assists. Neymar has been dazzling in League 1. These numbers are not new. Lacazette wasn't good in the Premier League for Arsenal, right? They replaced Lacazette with Gabriel Jesus and Edin Ketia. He's been scoring goals for fun in League 1. Wissam Ben Yedder has been, tearing the place apart.
Balogun.
So, with all the greater respect to League 1, it is not a great league. There's a reason why it's the 5th best amongst Europe's top 5. And the more reason why they classify that is the power of French football. Not necessarily because of the league, it's because of the power of French football.
Yeah.
Because their team don't even do well in Europe. You were always going to judge what Messi was going to do with Paris Saint-Germain in the big games in Europe. And I thought that it was a disaster. Because before you got to the club, they had made a Champions League final. They had made a Champions League semis, and they made back-to-back round of 16th. In all of those games, Messi wasn't impactful. As a matter of fact, if you push me more, I'll tell you that when Messi got to the club, it actually upset the way they were going to play. Because players like Mauro Icardi, who's a typical number 9, who they would have needed more, had to be shipped out. And when Messi played, and you've got Mbappe, you actually have 2 players, and Neymar. You actually got 3 players who don't work hard off the ball. And Neymar has been injured for a while. Mbappe doesn't work hard on the ball, even for France. Messi works, but when he works, the conversation is the rest of the teammates are doing enough for Messi, because when he's working, he's canning. Yeah. Guess what? In PSG, you can't have 2 players working and the rest of the players working. So you see the numbers. Lens finished 1 point behind PSG. Other seasons, they would have been running away with it. They were not great. And the Paris Saint-Germain fans who go to the match venue every single match day, see the Messi effort, and they don't think it's great. I know we love Messi. You cannot love football and not love Messi. Sure. He's a brilliant footballer. What about Barca? It is only an emotional return. It doesn't solve Barca problems. It doesn't solve Barca football problems. It might solve Barca financial problems because they might be betting on the fact that a lot more fans will come to the venue. But guess what? Barcelona are not playing in Camp Nou next season. They are moving to a smaller venue because they are going to revamp the place. So they don't need 90,000 fans to be at the Camp Nou. They need way less than that. And the Barca fans who fill the Camp Nou this season, they were making an average of 87,000. If they get 55 or 60,000 next season, they will fill every single home game. I don't think they need Lionel Messi for that. And I'm not sure what he actually fixed.
By virtue of being league champions, being in Europe, and being Barca.
The fact that Xavi is their coach actually is an attraction.
I mean, all those
because
things.
He's a Catalonia, they love Xavi and everything. There's Pedri, there's Gavi, And I'm looking at football reasons. What really did Messi fix in this Barca side? How is he going to play? Because then we have a Lewandowski and Messi, 2 players who are not going to press as you think they will. So what is the football reason for Messi coming there, apart from the emotional attachment of Messi being a Barcelona legend, one of the greatest of all time in Barcelona colours, and the fact that they couldn't really say the very proper goodbye to him, so maybe they're looking forward to it. But I think for football reasons, Barca are better placed to maybe move on from Messi than bring him into the side, because Xavi has created something, and maybe if Messi comes, he has to just upset it a little bit and accommodate him.
We have to look at Ghanaians abroad as well. The Ghanaian players relegated and promoted in the top 5 European leagues. So Karim is on standby for that. But any other points on why you think Messi is not a great fit to return to Barca? Especially, I want you to touch on something you said off air, that the trajectory of the club last season requires a certain building that Messi will not add to.
Look, but we all know Barcelona's problems. They got some right during the transfer window. Some of the transfers were wrong. But I feel that the main part of Barca's team that they need to fix is the defense. I don't think that the attack has a problem. Yes, we saw them draw blanks close to the end of the season, but I feel the more telling problem is at the back. You might look at the numbers and say, oh, they didn't concede, they didn't.
Christensen.
No. When you have your goalkeeper pulling numbers that we've not seen in years, then you know that there's a problem. Because you can't take that same structure to next season and hope that he repeats those sort of performances. So Barca needs to fix the defense. They need to find a proper replacement for Sergio Busquets. Maybe on paper you may look at Xavi, De Jong, and Pedri, but we've seen them play together, and we've seen that it just doesn't have that thing that Busquets gives them. So there will be problems in midfield, and to bring Messi again. And Sitso has said it. It's the same thing that was happened to PSG that's going to happen to Barcelona. Lewandowski literally doesn't work off the ball. Messi doesn't work off the ball. In modern day football, and especially the way Barcelona plays, you need players to be running around closing spaces, or the structure will break down. So for me, in terms of footballing reasons, it doesn't make sense. But look, it's their club, it's their money. They want him, they can go and take him. If the guys who are on the other side, we want some of the transfers that will break the team down. So if they want to bring him, they can feel free.